Here is Ofek Shalom located on 122 North Bassett Street, Madison, Wisconsin 53703. Ofek Shalom means horizon of peace. Shalom would be peace in that sentence. It's a co-op. It's the only Jewish co-op in Madison. Not all of its members are Jewish, but 10 people live here currently, and 4 of them are Jewish. It ranges. We do Shabbat dinners. We do some holiday things. It's very accepting home, I would say. Like, they keep kosher because it's vegetarian, and by being vegetarian, it's kosher. So in that way, it's very accommodating, and I appreciate that a lot.
My name is Jeremy. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and I'm a senior here at UW. My major is social work, and I have 1 certificate in African studies. And I'm new at Ofek Shalom. I just started this year. I didn't know about it until last year, but I figured I'm Jewish, and there should be some Jews in the home probably at a place called Ofek Shalom. So I decided to membership and join.
So, I'm Rebecca Schwab. I'm sure this is conflicting with the sound levels, but whatever you do. I'm a junior. I'm majoring in Hebrew and Jewish studies, and I believe I'm getting a certificate in Middle Eastern studies because I only need 1 more class. Who would have known?
Elliot Markman, 22, St. Louis, Missouri.
My name is Alexandra Noel Gardner, and this is my 4th year at UW-Madison. I went to high school in Madison at a private Catholic high school called Edgewood. And I'm from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and my family lives there, but I'm the only one who was born in Wisconsin.
Okay, so to be accepted into this place is not just enough to want to live here and like be moved by it, like my story, but you have to come to dinners.
What we usually do is you have to come to 3 dinners. It could be a Shabbat dinner or just a regular week dinner. On mine, we're all regular week dinners, and we have a list of questions. They've changed from time to time, but they're asked of the new members, and they range from like what it's like to live here to like what are your thoughts on feminism to
What was your favorite childhood smell and why? And like these questions are meant to evoke some sort of truth about you so that people know what they're getting into.
We pick people who we think are nice and respectful, and you know, just going to add something to the makeup of the house, kind of add their own spice or flavor.
I went through like the interview process and was like really into like the sense of community that was established in the house, and that was like a major principle of the house. And I also liked that there was like always people around, because like I have a really busy schedule, so I like that when I'm home there's people at home and it's got like a family vibe. And there's always like home cooked meals, like all those things were important. So then I knew I wanted to live here. Plus, everyone in the house was really active, like in terms of like activism, and I was really into that, or I still am, but I like that about it too. That's kind of like a part of the culture of the house.
You know, it's a Jewish co-op, but there's very few Jews here. I think last year there's only 1 or 2 out of the 10 people who live here. So I thought there's no point of there being a Jewish co-op without Jews in the house. So that was my reasoning for coming here mostly. Aside from me loving everybody who lived here last year and really feeling like it was going to be a safe place for me to be at.
Okay, ready? I'm like
Make sure this doesn't fall in the fire. Just kidding. I love bread though.
Cool. I like it.
cheers.
Cheers. Never even heard of a co-op, and I just remember walking down University from Hillel, which is not far. Like, it should be a 10-minute walk. I usually take 20, but like it shouldn't be that long. And so it seemed very daunting and like very intimidating, and I was like, where am I going? What is this random sketchy laundromat? And I got here, and there's just so many different people of all different grades and ethnicities here for Shabbat, and it's like an entirely different situation than I'm ever used to. I'm very used to Jewish things being Jewish, which is being redefined because you don't have to be Jewish to partake in a Jewish custom, and like that was very notable to me when they all like sang the blessings in Hebrew, and they don't know what they mean, and I was raised like knowing what they mean and learning them, learning the word, learning the root words, and it's so very interesting to do it ceremoniously, and not not in a religious way. And so I learned to expand my cultural horizons as a Jew,
But
which I think
I do know and like love about Judaism that like both community and justice are very like prominent throughout a lot of different like lessons or teachings and through a lot of the like celebrated events or holidays or whatever. Like that's like a common core theme. And social justice too, being like a really big component of that. And I try to like apply those things back to the house, but also like take them from the house and apply them to like my life. And that's something that I really appreciate that.
A lot of good conversations I've had in this house. Honoring the importance of the community and the importance of what it means to all get together on a Friday night, you know, or any night of the week, I guess, but just how friends can really break that boundary and also, you know, and are no longer friends necessarily, but kind of like family, you know, and I think that that's really what the house has taught me is like how, you know, I've been away from my parents for, you know, 4 years now, you know, 300 miles away, and I've built that family here of different friends and different communities, whether it be my scholarship program or this co-op. So I feel like I'm never alone anymore, and I think that this house has taught me that as long as I build connections wherever I am, you know, I'll always have a family. As cheesy as that might be, sometimes the most cheesy and cliche things are just pretty true.
I mean, you're only here for 4 years or 5 because that's what's happening mostly, but like you're here for a selected amount of time and it's very important to choose wisely. And for me, this was accommodating in more ways, I think, than I understood that I needed. As a person living away from home, you need another home. It's very, very different. I never feel like I'm not home. I never feel like I don't belong. Like there's a place for me because I made it. And I don't think you can do that. And maybe that's a co-op thing. I don't think so. I think that's an Ofek thing. #Ofek.